Hey everybody, this is Michelle with Heart Alchemy Yoga, and today we are filming at the Springs in downtown LA's Arts District, and we're doing a mellow yin practice. So let's go ahead and get started. This one's especially good for opening up the legs and the hips and releasing your back. So let's go ahead and come to start out in Baddha Konasana. You're going to come to sit on your mat. Take your legs a little bit wider than usual for Baddha Konasana, so the heel's kind of further away from your body. There are different variations of this pose. This one will be a wider one. Soles of the feet together, and then just start to kind of drop in. You can maybe fold forwards a bit. If you can't fold fully forwards, that's fine. You just find your spot, whatever that means to you. Just start to take the shoulders away from the ears. And lengthen your spine just gently so that you can start to stretch the lower back and outer hips. And begin to breathe very deeply all the way down into the base of your spine. So in a yin practice is more cooling and calming. And it's extremely soothing for the nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So the more you can relax into the poses, the more easily you can soothe and harmonize, both internally and in relationship to your environment. Just go ahead and take another couple of deep breaths here. And see if you can let go of another layer. Just surrender. And let's go ahead and roll ourselves up gently. And we will come all the way onto our backs from here. We're going to stay low to the ground in this practice today. And so from here, let's go ahead and lift your right leg straight up to the sky. And I'll tell you this, you might want to use a strap for this practice. You also, if you don't have a strap at home, you can use a towel, you can use a belt, a piece of clothing. But if you can't reach your big toe with a straight leg, from this position, you definitely want a strap. And keep your left knee bent to start out. Flex the right foot pretty strongly here. And then if it feels okay for your back, you can start to straighten the left leg along the floor. Flex the left foot. And just feel your right thigh draw down into the hip socket as you extend out through the right heel. Just breathe all the way along the back of your right leg. If you can hook the big toe on the right foot with the two peace fingers on your right hand, you're welcome to that variation as well. But just to remember that there's nothing to prove. It's no matter if you can grab your foot or not. It's most important that you set it up, that you can just be in the pose without straining at all. So you want to be able to relax as much as possible. So I'm going to use the strap in this practice just for the sake of keeping it a little bit more gentle in my own body as well. And feel the right shoulder sink down a little bit. And then from here, we're going to keep both hips on the floor. So the left hip may want to float up a little bit, but keep the left hip on the floor. And then open the right leg out to the right. So you want to take the right leg out to the right to just the spot that it feels like the left hip is definitely on the floor, but you're still getting a stretch along the inner right leg. And you can hold the strap or the towel with either hand. You can close your eyes if that helps you drop into the experience. And again, allow your body to relax as much as possible. I find that there's always another layer, it seems, of tension that can go, that we don't need. And as we sit in the pose for a minute or two, usually the experience shifts at least a few times. So sometimes we can move a little deeper into the pose, and sometimes we actually find that we need to back it off a little bit. So just make adjustments accordingly. And then go ahead and bring the right leg up to the center here. Now you're going to grab onto the strap with the left hand. Lower your right arm to the floor next to you. Now the right hip's going to lift up completely as we take the right foot all the way to the floor on the left side. So now the hip lifts up, just the right hip. You could also grab the bottom of the right foot if that helps you with the left hand. And this is a massive stretch for the outer right hip and IT band, as well as a nice twist and stretch in the lower back and quadratus lumborum, which is the right side flank. And so, just do a scan of your body. Notice any sensations that you feel. And just observe what's happening in your body. Breathe with it. And let it go. As far as we're learning to touch the experience and be present with it without grasping on. So this is actually a Buddhist meditation called Touch It and Let It Go. It's literally, it's not pushing away and it's not clinging. It's just allowing the experience to be. Because grasping and pushing away are opposite ends of the same situation. And so just observing where we do both and letting go of both. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and move on back to center with the right leg. And you can remove the strap now, and we're going to bend the right knee and grab the bottom of the right foot. Come down into like happy baby, just with the right side. Keep the left leg a little bit engaged, just slightly, so that the left toes point straight up. And just gently draw the right knee down by your side. If it's more comfortable for you to hook the big toe with the right hand, then you can do that. And then just gently allow that right hip to release. This is also a really good back release. And allow the breath to be thorough, but also soft enough that, when we do a strong flow practice, sometimes the breath can be very intense. And if we're doing a Kundalini practice, there are lots of reasons to engage the breath more strongly. But in a yin practice, we want to soften it. But again, let it be thorough and intentional. And just feel the left hip sink down to stabilize. And see if you can just shed another layer energetically. Sometimes just even imagining a layer of tension leaving the body can initiate that letting go. Good, and then from here we'll come to thread the eye of the needle. So you'll bend the left knee and take your right ankle, stack it on top of the left knee. Okay, so for some of you at home, if your head is lifted up high and you're straining to get your head down, I suggest you take a pillow and put it under the back of your head. Take your right hand through this triangle between your legs, and you can grab either your left hamstrings or your left shin with both hands. Flex the right foot. So yeah, if you're feeling any strain in your neck, definitely put a pillow under your head. If you're feeling any kind of strain in the lower back, then you want to loosen your grip and definitely either grab the hamstrings instead of the shin if that's the case. It's always better to back it off a little bit. And also to observe where you may be gripping or aggressive with yourself. And there's nothing wrong with being aggressive with yourself. Just observe it. There's nothing wrong with you, just to remember that. But to see that it potentially isn't helping you either. So the things that aren't helping us, we can definitely let go of. There's, right or wrong, those are judgments of the mind. They're discriminations, and they're useful at times, but in yoga, they're not really useful. In yoga, it's more useful to observe the judgment and surrender to the experience. Just see how the mind works and not attach too much to it. Just gently allow your legs to come towards you if they easily do. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. And then go ahead and release and hug your right knee into your chest towards your heart. So you could take the right knee towards the right shoulder, but today we're taking the right knee in more towards the heart. Just a slightly different stretch. And then go ahead and just set that right foot on the floor. The right knee bends. And lift the left leg up to the sky. Okay, so you'll want to grab your strap or towel or belt or whatever. Unless you're just grabbing your foot, that's fine too. Flex the left foot. Left leg straight up to the sky. And then if it feels good on your back, you can start to straighten that right leg out. And feel the left thigh sink down into the left hip socket as you gently extend out through the left heel. And by being thorough with the breath, we can breathe all the way into the low belly. We can breathe into the lower back, the kidneys. We can breathe into the toes. You can breathe into outer space. The idea is to bring your breath to the places that you want it to be, to bring your mind to the places that you want it to be. And feel your shoulders sink down into the ground. Keep the right leg a little bit engaged, which will help to protect your lower back. I usually keep the hip on the leg that's on the floor. So in this case, the right hip, I usually keep my right hand on my right hip to ground it down. Okay, so we're going to open the left leg out to the left. And feel the left hip release. So this pose is actually a triangle pose from your back. So this is the same muscle groups and same form as triangle, only rather than engaging the muscles and strengthening the muscles as we do in the standing sequences of yoga, we are practicing letting go. We're practicing letting go and relaxing the muscles completely. And when we stretch and relax the muscles and allow the body to release into these postures for a minute or two, we start to access the connective tissue, the tendons and ligaments and fascia, in addition to just the muscles that hold the body together. And then see if you can just let go of another layer that you don't need. What can you let go of? And then go ahead and bring that left leg back up to center. Grab onto your strap or the outer left foot with the right hand. Take your left hand to the ground next to you and drop that right leg all the way over to the left side of your mat. Feel your over to the right side of your mat. You're going to feel the left arm ground down on the floor behind you, the left shoulder sink down. So again, the left leg is on the right side. And you can be feeling this stretch in any number of places. Just know that whatever you're feeling, so long as it's not pain, if it's pain, you have to back off and get out of the pose. But if it's just sensation, just know that wherever you're feeling it, that is correct. It's correct. It's legitimate what you feel in your body. In fact, not only is it legitimate, but it's your truth. It's the truth of the moment. The truth is how you feel right now. That is real. And how you felt yesterday and how you'll feel tomorrow, or whatever you've done in the past or whatever you plan to do in the future, those things haven't happened yet, or they've already happened. They no longer exist. So get really grounded in this moment. Just notice how that feels. Okay, now we're just going to slowly come back to center with the left leg. And we can remove the strap now. And you're going to grab onto the bottom of the left foot, bend the left knee down by your side for a happy baby, just with the left side of your body. And feel the right foot flex a little bit and the right hip ground down. So to truly be present means that we're not allowing the past to manipulate or inform us necessarily. It's okay to be informed by the past. Obviously, we have memories and experiences for good reason, and it's good. It's good. However, the real truth in the moment is just the flow of life moving through us. So while this may sound esoteric, it's really, if you think about it, fear is just your past trying to control your future or even your present. But, fear is oftentimes fear of the past repeating itself. And to be really, truly present means that we're trusting what's happening right now, even if it's not particularly pleasant, or maybe it's extremely pleasant and we never want it to end. It feels so good, whatever we're doing. Just to recognize that life is transient, it's dynamic, it's moving, it's shifting, and it just is what it is. Once we let go of all of the preconceptions or fears from the past, then we can rest easily. So see if you can relax something right now. Who knows what? Find something in your body to relax. And we're going to transition to thread the eye of the needle on the left side. Left ankle cross over the right thigh. Bend the right knee. You can take the left hand through this triangle between your legs and grab either the right hamstrings or the right shin. Flex the left foot. Feel the shoulders sink down into the ground. Soften your jaw. Soften your brow. Relax your eyes in their sockets. So if your eyes are closed, I feel like I can find that more with my eyes closed. Feel the shoulders soften, the belly relax completely. Just gently allow the right knee to come towards you. So when you do that, both legs will come towards you. Just allow it to happen. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and release this one. Release your legs, bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, and open your knees. Bring the soles of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining bound angle pose. And you can take your arms either above your head or your hands to your belly or your heart or your arms by your side. Just make sure that your shoulders are able to relax. So for me, my shoulders can feel kind of tight even with all the yoga. Sometimes I'll just take my arms up above my head and I feel like that helps to release them in some way. So you can check that out. And just see what you can relax here. Can you feel your hips just melt? And feel your heart also melt down into the ground. So the upper back will sink down. There's a natural curve in the spine, so the lower back will lift up just slightly, but without overemphasizing that. So we want the lower back to also soften down, even though it's lifted up, not to confuse you, but there is that natural arc in the spine, which we want. But we're practicing now releasing the tension that holds ourselves upright. We're releasing the tension that we use to hold ourselves up. Okay, and then just gently bring your knees together. So if you're at home and you want to stay there longer, and any of these poses longer, you can do. Otherwise, hug your knees into your chest and roll onto your side and press yourself up to sit. Close your eyes. And just notice how it feels to be alive in your body. Notice how it feels to be a little calmer and a little more open to life. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. And lift your heart, bow your head. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. This is Michelle Goldstein with Heart Alchemy Yoga, and we're filming here at the Springs in downtown Los Angeles. Please subscribe to our channel and stay in the loop with further offerings. We have an amazing community of teachers with new classes coming out on a weekly basis. And also feel free to like and comment on the videos, share the videos with your communities. We're really grateful. Thank you so much.